If you've not had a chance yet, go back and watch my last video on myth. It really describes what a myth is, what I mean by myth, and lays the foundation for this video and the ones that are going to come up. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what I refer to as the common Christian myth. And by that, I really just mean the unofficial set of beliefs, practices, images, metaphors that we all have, right? We might have them in slightly different ways because of our denomination or region that we grew up in. But at some level, we all kind of agree upon these, or we have similar experiences, right? So like I could say John 3:16, and there is a sense that you know what it is. Or I could say, there is no fear in love, but perfect love does what to fear, right? You know those verses. You don't probably know where they are, but they're in you, right? That's the myth. So I'm going to address that a little bit. And in Connie Zweig's book, Meeting the Shadow on the Spiritual Path, she talks a lot about this, right? Spiritual abuse, even what's called spiritual neglect, right? Neglecting core parts of our experience, our humanity that is, has the effects of essentially disconnecting us from those parts of ourselves, which is the definition of trauma. So I want to address a few things. And in her book, she talks about a number of core parts of our humanity that we have to reclaim. And that first one is, she talks about, is reclaiming the light. Reclaiming the light. And think about this from the common Christian myth perspective. When I say the word light, you likely have, verses or partial verses come up, right? Like, God is light, and in him there is no darkness. Or, you are the light of the world, which is kind of weird because it's like, I'm the light of the world, but in the common Christian myth, I'm only the light of the world because God has given me that light. So it's not inherent in me. It's not natural in me. It's something that has had to be transposed or embedded into me. I don't deserve it. It's certainly not, part of who I am originally, but it's part of my rebirth into Christianity and to following Jesus, whatever the common Christian myth says there. But to reclaim the light is to own back our own illuminative qualities. It's to take seriously that our presence in the world is an awakening, has an awakening function for other people, but certainly for ourselves. So as an example, when I work with clients, I'll often guide them into a meditation, or what I call a guided meditation, and I'll invite them to imagine, to use their imagination. And when I do that, I'll often have clients who have a hard time imagining. Or if they are imagining, they have a hard time trusting their imagination. It's like, well, I'm just making that up, and it would be more comfortable, perhaps even easier for them to find some story or find some kind of way that God is already speaking to them. To read a Bible verse or to listen to a worship song that already has words in it. And that is because in many ways, our imagination is an illuminating function. It allows us to awaken to parts of ourselves. And if we're out of touch with our own light, our own luminous qualities, then we can't imagine that we can illuminate our own path. I have this quote I want to read from Connie's book. She says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us." So it is our light. It is the fact that if you want to know where you're going, if you want clarity about where your boundaries are, or which job to take, or what you desire in a partner. It is terrifying at first to believe that the answer lies within. Again, it's not an answer. It's not an answer. It's it's a sense of knowing, to look within and to illuminate the path forward through your own intuition, through your own sense of luminous quality. That's terrifying, and yet it is liberating. And in some ways, it is the only way forward, because to listen to anything else is to lose our lives, and in the meantime, go down a rabbit trail that has really nothing to do with us. So, reclaiming our light. If you want to know more, schedule a free 20-minute discovery call with me. I'd love to explore what that could look like and how you could specifically touch into how you have given up your light and how you can reclaim that and how that can serve you in moving forward in life and making decisions that center around your core sense of identity, your true self, and your authentic self.